picture this. You're hiking through the Canadian Rockies, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly you stumble upon this village. It's straight out of the Swiss Alps.
Wow.
Sounds unbelievable, but it's real.
It is.
It's called Edelweiss Village. And it's got a story that deserves to be told. We're talking 125 years.
125 years, yeah.
Of Swiss mountain guides who really shaped Western Canada and their impact. It goes way beyond just the mountains.
Absolutely.
This year, Golden BC is going all out to celebrate this anniversary. We're talking guided tours of Edelweiss Village. They've got film screenings, panel discussions, and even, get this, a special run called the FeuzRun.
Right. And you know that run. It's named after one of the most legendary Swiss guides, Edward Feuz Jr.
Known for his skill, his dedication to safety. Oh, and he played a key role in what we now call heli skiing.
Wow.
Talk about an impact, right? That's leaving your mark. Okay, so huge celebration coming up. But let's rewind a bit. What brought these Swiss guides to Canada in the first place? I mean, think about it. The Canadian Rockies are like a global destination, right? For adventure, tourism. And these guides, they must have played a big role in that.
Oh, absolutely. You're thinking back to the late 1800s, the Canadian Pacific Railway, the CPR, they just finished this massive project connecting the country by rail.
Right, right.
But they had a bit of a problem. This vast wilderness, it wasn't exactly a tourist magnet.
No, not at that time.
No, they needed to make it appealing, accessible, give people the confidence to explore, and that's where the Swiss guides come in.
So basically the CPR looked at Switzerland, a country known for its mountains, and said, we need you.
Pretty much. They brought over these Swiss guides, and these guys, they brought generations of knowledge. Tried and true techniques straight from the Alps.
Wow.
They were instrumental. I mean, these guides established the mountaineering routes, the safety standards. They even influenced skiing culture here.
That's incredible. It makes you realize how much we take for granted, like the trails we hike, the slopes. It all goes back to this fascinating exchange.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wasn't just the guides, was it? Their families too, right?
Oh, absolutely. The wives, they were incredible. Managing households, often running businesses, while their husbands were away on expeditions. It was a true team effort, that's for sure.
Going through the event stuff, one thing that struck me was how they recognized the First Nations and their connection to the land.
Yes, and it's crucial, right? A reminder that history has layers. Long before the Swiss guides, before any European settlers, indigenous peoples called these mountains home. For millennia, they had this profound connection with the land.
It's about understanding the full picture, seeing the contributions of everyone who shaped this region.
Exactly.
And speaking of the past, that leads us to the heart of it all, Edelweiss Village.
Oh, this village is like a time capsule.
Really?
Built by the Swiss guides in the early 1900s. You've got these original log cabins nestled among these huge trees. It's a real, tangible connection to that past.
I can only imagine. It's like something you'd see in a movie. It's incredible that they've survived all this time. But I'm guessing it takes a lot to keep them up. You're right, they don't, do they? Keeping these pieces of history alive, it takes work, dedication, and probably a good amount of, let's be honest, money.
It does. And that's a big part of what this 125th anniversary is about.
Yeah.
Maintaining those cabins, making sure they're authentic, that they're standing strong. It takes a lot. This anniversary, it's not just about looking back, it's about protecting that past.
That makes a lot of sense. So how does the celebration actually help with that?
Well, for one, they've organized these amazing guided tours of Edelweiss Village. You'll be with the best, Brittany Newman from the Golden Museum, and a heritage specialist, Samuel Boyvert. They'll be sharing all sorts of fascinating insights about the village's history, the architecture, even the day-to-day lives of those early guides and their families.
Now, that's what I call an immersive history lesson.
It is.
And you can't beat the setting, right? But let's not forget those of us who really like to, dig deep into a topic. You mentioned a conference earlier. What's so special about it?
Oh, this isn't your typical boring conference. They've got this lineup of speakers, all experts on the Swiss guides and their impact. Like, for instance, Dr. Perlan Reichwein. She'll be there sharing her research on the guides' connection to the Alpine Club of Canada. That group, they had a huge role in shaping Canadian mountaineering.
It's incredible how the guides' influence just seems to keep going.
It does.
And speaking of influential figures, Dr. Ilona Speer. She's practically a legend when it comes to Swiss-Canadian history. Founding member of the Edelweiss Village Foundation, historian, speaker at the conference. She's even giving remarks at the main celebration.
Talk about dedication. Her talk, by the way, it's on the challenges, the opportunities of preserving Edelweiss Village. It really gets into these broader questions about how we honor the past especially in a place as, well, dynamic as the Rockies.
It's like they're trying to bridge that gap,
Yeah.
between the history books and the world we experience today.
Exactly. They've also got this panel discussion, right, with actual Swiss mountain guides, Rudy Gertsch and John Bazzola. To hear those first-hand stories, their experiences in the field, it's gonna be incredible.
Wow, talk about bringing history to life. But it's not just about reminiscing, is it? They're also thinking about the future of Edelweiss Village, too.
Absolutely. One of the speakers, Dr. Peter Dawson, he's really into digital preservation. He's going to be talking about how technology can actually help create a virtual museum. Imagine making this history accessible to people everywhere.
That's amazing. Not everyone can just get on a plane to Golden, but a digital museum, that opens up a whole new world. It's, like you said, making it accessible.
And they're doing that in other ways, too, Have you seen the price of those conference tickets? It's incredibly affordable.
You're right. Clearly, this isn't just about, making money. They want to share this story. And speaking of sharing, it's not just talks and presentations, right? What about those documentary screenings?
Oh, there's one in particular that sounds amazing. Foregoing, the future of Edelweiss Village. It seems like it's going to be a powerful look at the challenges, the possibilities facing this historical site.
Now, that's something I'd love to watch. What's a celebration without a little fun, right?
Of course. They've thought of everything. Traditional Althorn music by Daryl Caswell, even a performance by the Edmonton Swiss Men's Choir.
Oh, and you can't forget about the merch table. Gotta love a good commemorative t-shirt, maybe a tote bag.
Who doesn't? But
Yeah.
Seriously, it's amazing how they've put together this event that has something for everyone.
Absolutely. But this is more than just, attending a lecture or watching a film. It's about actively engaging with history, being part of preserving it.
Exactly. And one of the ways they're doing that is through a silent auction.
A silent auction, huh? I'll be honest, I'm not always the best bidder,
Right.
but this one I heard it's all online.
Yes.
So you can browse, you can bid from anywhere.
It's a great way to support Edelweiss Village because all the money raised goes straight to its preservation.
Yeah.
They'll use the funds to support those initiatives we talked about, like the digital museum, the one that's going to give people all over the world access to this place.
It's really incredible what they're doing. Educating people about this history, making it accessible in new ways. I mean, they even have some retail therapy thrown in there.
Yeah.
For a good cause, of course.
Yeah.
But at its core, this isn't just about old cabins, is it?
No, you're right. It's about, recognizing the huge impact these Swiss guides had. I mean, they shaped the very landscape we picture when we think of the Canadian Rockies.
It's true.
It's about appreciating that exchange of knowledge, of culture, the things that helped build this nation.
It makes you think every time we hike those trails or hit the slopes, we're experiencing their legacy.
Exactly. It's our job to keep those stories alive. Make sure they echo through those valleys forever. History isn't just something you read in a textbook,
No, it's not.
It's all around us, woven into the fabric of the places we live, the places we explore.
Talking about all this, I can't help but think about those mountains, those towering peaks. What stories could they tell if they can talk? What was it like for those guides who dared to climb them? The challenges, the triumphs. This celebration, it's a chance to hear those stories, to learn from them.
Yeah.
And to do our part to make sure they live on.
It really is.
And for anyone listening, if you want to, learn more, really dive into this incredible history, you can find all the information on the Edelweiss Village website. That's swissvillage.ca/125. You can find out about the celebration, get tickets to the conference, even put in a bid in the silent auction. Who knows? Maybe we'll see you there.